What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know who it is by now. But for those who are just now tuning in, it is your boy, Carolina David, coming at you again with another video. On today, I want to talk about the importance of fathers because children right now are going through a traumatic experience without fathers in their life. And I do know that there are times where fathers are in their life. Well, mother's boyfriends or live-in boyfriends or whatever like that, and they go through a traumatic experience as well, or stepfathers also. But anyway, this video is going to be talking about the importance of fathers. Let's get into it.
Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David.
Okay, I'm about to show y'all a few clips, and by the way, warning. This video right here may contain some content that might be copyrighted, but I'm gonna use it for commentary to speak on. But anyway, I'm gonna use some video clips right here, man, that I've seen over the past week where children are just going through it. But let's get into it.
Let's put your face in the camera. Let's show them who really be on this snap. This not her. This little girl is 12 years old. She's only in 6th grade. She want to be grown. I'm going to show her she's grown. That's what.
Now, as y'all can see, man. Oh, let me get myself together. But as you can see, the mother of this child literally abused her daughter. I mean, she literally beat her like as though she's a woman on the streets. And the reason, and then first of all, you said, I'm gonna show y'all she's grown, she's up here doing all this, that, the third, but then you getting at her for being provocative and whatever like that. But then you gonna sit here and tell her take her pants off and get back in the camera. So you basically trying to add on to it. Like, you are not, you look like you're young yourself. And for you to sit here and fight your daughter just because she hollered, yes, but you beating her. I mean, you taking a leather belt and you just going at her with it. Like, and let's be honest, what do you think that your daughter got that personality from? Where do you think she got that being mischievous from? You, ma'am. You are the reason why your daughter act the way that she acts, because you probably have different dudes over. You probably sit there, twerk and shake your butt in front of your friends and go to the club and do all that stuff. And then let's look at the environment that you're in. Like, evidently, if you're looking at the video, you could tell that they probably not in an upstanding neighborhood because of just by the way of the background of her house. But anyway, I'm about to show y'all another video. Now, if y'all see right here, the girl is getting jumped. One girl is getting jumped. And the dude's just standing around like, ooh. I mean, just sounding like some daggone, like animals, bro. Like, but the dude's standing around, ooh. And then when the one girl come in to help the girl out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see a whole grown ass man, a whole grown tail man. You see a whole grown tail man push her, like hit her, like dang near almost bumped her like a football hit. And if you look at the video, you see that it's a man standing there with a pistol in his hand. Like, that don't make no sense. And then you see one, they stumping the girl and everything, knocked her out. And then after that, the girl that they pushed, that man pushed, they was dragging her. Looked like they trying to take something from her. And when she got on the ground, they trying to stomp her in the head and stuff. Like, this is the reason why fathers are needed. Because why? These young ladies and young men out there, one, the dudes, they jumping into the daggone fray of a woman's fight. Instead of breaking it up, instead of breaking up the fight, they're gonna jump into it. And gonna sit there talking about whoop her tail, whoop her tail, whoop her tail. Keep repeating yourself. Like this don't make no sense, y'all. Like, we need to come together. We need to have more of a unity instead of separation. We have a division within our own daggone race, and we expect other people to respect us. Come on, man. Now, this next video, I actually seen it by way of a brother named Tommy Sotomayor. I seen it on his page, but I just want to give commentary on it as well. Now, this video right here is coming from the news. I think it's channel 2 KUTV. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into it.
Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
First of all, y'all found a student who only passed 3 classes in 4 years, but he ranked at the top half of his class. Come on now.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school?
Now, I want y'all to see something right now. All right. At the beginning, the first thing that, like, they show up, be strong, son. Be strong. We're going to get through this. Okay. And then as she started talking, like, because he's being held back, going back to the 9th grade. But then you see the boy playing daggone PlayStation. Like, he's just playing PlayStation. Like, come on now. You still allowing him to play PlayStation and stuff like that, even though he's being moved back to the 9th grade?
He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
Hold on, wait a minute. He didn't fail. The school failed him? How? Because I could have sworn that the school's job is to, 1, teach the child. 2, make sure, like, you know, well, by way of school transportation, the school bus, make sure they get to school. Like, what else they supposed to do? If they're giving out lessons and, you know, whatever like that, but yet your child ain't asking questions like, hey, I didn't get it, or hey, can you go back over that right quick, because I had to go to the bathroom, I didn't want to miss anything. It ain't the school that failed, it's your child that failed.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs.
Okay, first of all, how do you not know that, ma'am? How do you not know that your child was failing? Because for one, I could have sworn that they issue out report cards. 2, I could have sworn that they issued out progress reports. And 3, I could have sworn that they even given out, like sending some like letters or something like that home when your child is doing pretty bad. Or they were trying to set up a parent-teacher conference. So how do you not know till February of this year? Or that year? That don't make sense. But then if you look at it, you see the reason why she don't know. You work 3 jobs and then you have 3 kids. Who is there watching your children? If you got 3 jobs, that means you're probably working 2 every day. If you're working 2 jobs every day, who's watching your children? Huh? The school, they're not supposed to be watching your children. That's why a lot of these people out here, they utilize the school as basically caretakers of their children instead of them being the caretakers. Because you are the child's parent. You're supposed to take care of them.
She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
Now, I would like to say right there that the school did fail on that part right there, because they have that no child left behind bull crap, which is a bunch of bull crap, because like if your child is doing horrible, they need to be left behind. And it's up to you to step in to intervene your child doing horrible. So that the school fell on that part. Yes.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times.
Okay, now, in his first 3 years, he failed 22 classes. He was late or absent 272 times. Now, it's 180 days in an after-school year. So, if you take that and multiply it by 3, that's 540 days. Now, if you take and subtract 272 from that, you got 268 days. Now, out of all those days that he missed school or was late or absent, who is the blame? Who is the blame for him not showing up to class? Or him showing up to class late? Who is the blame? Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't blame you, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's the school fault. Because the school's supposed to come there to your house, and the school's supposed to make sure that he's taking a shower, that he's brushed his teeth, that he ate breakfast, and that he got on the bus, and they're supposed to hold his hand while walking down the hallway and make sure that he got in his classroom. The school is supposed to do that. Not so. You're supposed to do that, ma'am. That's the reason why fathers are needed. That's the reason why it's a 2-parent household are needed. Because if you got mother and father, guess what? 9 times typically, a real man, a true man, he's gonna work and take on majority of the bills. He's gonna take majority of responsibility. Why? Because he's a provider. He's a protector. So he's gonna make sure his family is all right. Then the woman would only have to work probably 1 job, and then could be there more often for her children. But if you're not there for your oldest, what say you of the youngest?
But in those 3 years, only 1 teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened.
Okay, and why did it never happen? Because just like with me and my son and my wife, we got a message from the teacher saying they didn't want to have a conference dealing with our son. So right then we messaged her back and said, okay, well, it was a virtual call. We said, okay, you could call now. And when they called, they gave praise about my son or whatever like that and how he was acting. So you have to respond back to them, ma'am, and say, yes, when can we meet? Yes, when can we talk? Did you do that? You told me something, it never happened. Why did it never happen? Because of you.
No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13.
0.13? And that's not it. Listen at this.
He only passed 3 classes, but his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
Now, that right there should just basically take it overboard. I mean, because just think about it for a second, y'all. And now everybody wants to say, oh, school to prison pipeline, and the schools ain't trying to teach the kids and all that stuff because, you know, they ain't got the proper textbooks and whatever like that. But now, I'm only speak on how my son's school is right now. My son's school, they send out messages about donations, about raffles, about t-shirts and stuff like that, buying t-shirts, about buying jackets, they send out things to basically raise money for the school. Now, when you look at a majority black school, let's be honest, and I'm one of the ones that was a part of that type of school, we don't have that type of stuff going on. They don't do that type of stuff like that. Matter of fact, it's schools like around our way where they actually do car washes and everything to try to raise money for the school. We have an obligation. We have to step up to the plate as parents, and they're going to initiate funds to get them better textbooks. Y'all, we can't continue to keep depending on the government all the time. And for the other kids to be doing so bad, it's the same reason. They don't have nobody that's on their hide. Nobody that's on them to keep them on the straight and narrow.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
In your opinion?
What you mean, where's the mentor, where's the help? Ma'am, you're the mentor. You're the help. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. The father is the mentor and the help. Where's his father? Where's his father, ma'am? Why are you a single parent? You're the problem. Talk about something. Where's the mentor? Where's the help? Ma'am, the Bible clearly tells us, train up your children in the way that they should go. So that means, who is the first teacher? Who is the teacher? We are. The teachers at school, they only teach math, science, English, and so on and so forth. But math and English and literary, like writing and stuff, we should be teaching our children that. Because let's be honest, a lot of these schools don't even teach the children how to write in cursive no more. So what we must do, we must step in and do it.
Did the school system fail this child?
Absolutely.
This city school administrator who works inside North Avenue asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation.
That school community failed this student.
This administrator told Fox 45 News city schools failed because it has protocols and interventions set up to help students who are falling behind or have low attendance. In France's son's case, they didn't happen.
The school had a part, but the child played a more majority role. Because let's be honest, with him being ranked 62, what about the other 36%? Are they doing well? Because at the end of the day, you can't depend on nobody to do for you. You got to do for yourself.
I get angry. There's nothing but frustration. We see on the news the crime that occurs, the murders, the shootings. We know that there are high levels of poverty in Baltimore. Things like this are adding to that.
Things like this are adding to that. Sir, it's not things like that dealing with the school. It's things like parents. Because with there being a high level of poverty in that city, what should that parent do? Should they stay in that city or should they leave that city? Because just like the old saying, you show me your friends, I will show you you. So if your children are hanging around bad influences all the time, guess what? They're gonna be the same thing. So what should you do? Leave, or start a community a program to influence these children to do better.
These children are why I do this work.
Dr. Sonia Santelises was school CEO 4 years ago when France's son was a freshman, but she will not interview with Fox 45 News. Instead, we received this 2-page statement, which explains what should happen when a student is chronically absent or failing. The district says students received a letter about their academic status this past summer, and records can be accessed through the campus portal. When a student is absent, an automated call is placed to the number on file. The statement also said the school conducted recent home visits and the student's parent visited the school. But France says none of that happened. What this statement does not address is why France's son was promoted despite failing classes. It doesn't discuss his class rank or the 58 other students with a GPA of 0.13 or lower. But it does say North Avenue is reviewing actions that impacted student outcomes at the school prior to this year.
It took a lot for me to just build the courage to do this.
If you were to talk to this mom, what would you say to her?
You know, I didn't have a hand on this student, but I work for city schools, so he is one of my kids. I would hug her and I would apologize profusely.
And he feels embarrassed, he feels like a failure. And I'm like, you can't feel like that. And you have to be strong. And you gotta keep fighting. You know, life is about fighting. Things happen, but you gotta keep fighting. And he's willing, he's trying, but who would he turn to when the people that's supposed to help him is not? Who do he turn to?
You know what? I'm not even gonna watch no more. I'm gonna end it off right there. Why? Because to be honest, that woman is not going to, the mother is not going to take no responsibility. The mother is not going to take accountability and say, you know what, son, I failed you because I should have been there more for you. The mother's not going to do none of that, but all she's going to do is put it off on the school. She's going to put it off on the environment. She's going to put it off on everybody but her and her child. Because honestly, your child, it's his fault why he failed. Because he chose not to be attentive. He chose not to go to class. He chose not to go to school on time. That's his fault. And now, you gonna sit here, and just like the mama, what the boy gonna do? Man, why this happening to me? Mother freaker! All I got to say is this. It's now high time that we start putting the accountability and the responsibility at the lap of where it need to be at. Right at the mothers. Because in all realness, I know people gonna say, well, what about the father? Guess what? We're the first line of defense, but the mother's the last line of defense when it come down to children being born. She got 3 children, and she working 3 jobs. No man in sight. Because if there was a man in sight, he would have been in the video. he would have been in the interview, but he was not there. Now, the thing about it is, what we see in here is a generational curse. For that mother, she looks young herself. She looked like she probably either my age or a little bit older. But this is what happens. This is the reason why fathers are needed. And this is the reason why if that young lady would have had a father in her life to show her the way, and then she could have chose a man that's like the father that she had, because that's what we typically do. We pick spouses that basically emulates our mother or our father. So, if you had a father in your life, you could have picked a man that's like your father, that's gonna be there, that's gonna protect, provide, so on and so forth. But right now, it's a mess. And the first thing people want to do is blame it on the school. But guess what? The school is only giving you what you wanted. Because a lot of people say, man, no child should be left behind. Okay, well, let's just pass them on then, even though they failed it. Now, you like, well, that's not right. You should have let me know something. Which one do you want? And then you got that affirmative action bull crap, where children don't even have to apply, black and brown children don't even have to apply themselves as much as white, Chinese, or so on and so forth. And then another thing you got to look at too, the first thing people want to holler, oh, the school test and the school and stuff like that is racially biased. How is it racially biased when you have Africans that come from another country and come to school, they pass. Chinese come from another country, come to these schools, they pass. Arabians, they come from another country, here, pass. Children from the Middle East come here, pass. But the children that are here naturally don't pass. Why do you think that is? Lack of fathers. Because if you don't have a father or that's there, you don't have a stable household, they're gonna repeat it. They're gonna show it in school. That's the reason why you even have some young black kids who are smart, who are on the AB honor roll or something. What happened to them? They get picked on. They get jumped. They get called nerds and whatever like that by children that failed. But anyway, I'm going to just end this by saying, we need to stop passing the buck. We need to stop trying to put the blame on everybody else instead of who it need to be on us. If my child was failing, the first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, son, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? I'm going to question that. Why? Because I want to help you succeed. I want to help my son succeed. Instead of just sit back and put the blame. What y'all doing? Y'all not teaching my son. There are actually videos where women was whining and complaining because their children were failing in class. Doing this virtual online stuff. But then when you look at these videos, you see children sleep in their bed. In their house. Who in that house is supposed to make sure that child is up and ready for school? Parents. But if you ain't got parents, you only got one and they go to work, it's free game. But anyway, I pray that y'all have a blessed and peaceful night rest or a blessed and peaceful day. I love y'all. Peace.